the RCP conference is back. This year, Medicine 2022 is in London, in Liverpool and online. Across the next 2 days, in rooms like these, delegates are going to have the chance to come together, reconnect and explore clinical and non-clinical topics. The sessions will also emphasise the need to address and tackle health inequalities. Let's get into it. Good morning, everybody. Hello from London. Can you hear me?
Yes, welcome everyone.
We're getting started with a forward from myself and Mumtaz Patel, who's kicking us off in Liverpool, and to talk about the relative roles of the state, the medical profession and the individual in improving public health with Professor Chris Whitty.
Now, the state has a lot of capacity to improve health. And the question is, when should it? The point of the public's view shifts over time, and people will look back on our era and they will say, how on earth did they do that?
Chris Whitty was able to come as Chief Medical Officer to give the opening plenary talk, which really sets the stage and importance for Medicine 22 over the next 48 hours.
As part of our Let's Talk programme, Professor Anya Burns had a chance to speak with Brian Wang.
So I set up what's now a charity called Into Med School, and the aim of it is to widen participation, get more people from disadvantaged backgrounds into healthcare careers, in particular being doctors.
A couple of weeks before the conference, I got a chance to speak to the Secretary of State in his office. We asked him lots of questions, and we hope he gave us some honest answers. Secretary of State, thank you for your time today. If we were to have 4,000 doctors a year moving on, do you think that's enough?
No, I'm not sure that is enough. And frankly, I shouldn't be making that decision. That's exactly why I've asked the NHS for the first time ever to come up with a sort of proper, strategic, long-term plan, long-term strategy of workforce needs over the next 15 years.
There are many adults with BMIs of 60, 70, and for the first time in my career, there is a really promising pathway, giving us lots of tools in the box that we'll hopefully be able to use.
We've been talking a lot about health inequalities at this conference today. You're both quite busy GPs in the local area. Do you think we're making any difference when it comes to health inequalities in primary care?
Speaking from a personal perspective, certainly there's lots of evidence to suggest that there's some increased funding looking into reasons why health inequalities exist at a more granular level, which I think is really appreciated. I think there's a long way to go nationally, but certainly the work is being done.
We've got massive challenges, haven't we? We know the evidence that health inequalities are getting worse. The good news, and it is good news, is I think clinicians and indeed the wider service are engaging with that now. We're starting to think about it, we're starting to understand it, we're getting better data on it, and we're starting to design interventions to try and improve inequalities.
I'm on the train on the way to Liverpool to the Spine to see how Medicine 2022 looks there. I'm really excited about seeing members and fellows in the Spine, and I guess it's important to remember why we've got a home there. Whenever I'm in that building, I always think about Donal O'Donoghue, the registrar that came after me, who sadly died from COVID. And Donal's one of his favourite phrases was that the college is where the members and fellows are. And whenever I travel to the Spine, not only am I reminded of that, but meeting members and fellows reminds me why we've got two homes, to show that we're not just a London college and that we are wherever the members and fellows are. So here we go to Liverpool. Well, made it to Liverpool and on the way up to the Spine now. Looking forward to meeting some members and fellows and to have a good end to day one. Welcome to day 2 of Medicine 2022.
Thank you very much.
We have a good working relationship between the RCP and the RACP. I'm here at this conference to build bridges, to network and to understand the problems that this college faces in the light of the COVID era and the changes in the NHS.
Now it's time to dive into some of our Liverpool speakers. Day two's had quite a clinical bent to it, particularly here in Liverpool. I've enjoyed the sessions on acute medicine, looking at how we might improve same-day emergency care, as well as the care of patients with learning disabilities. Sessions on pharmacology have also been brilliant, and some of the workshops have gone down really well, particularly lung ultrasound and echocardiograms.
They've incorporated some really great workshops. So we have our AMBO workshop, we have the ultrasound workshop that is excellent for people wanting to get a trial of like the bronch, especially if you're trying for a career in ICU. The ultrasound workshop was great. Like, you know, it was packed into an hour, a lot of information, and we got practice time with it.
We are investing in our clinicians for the future. I think the principal focus is updating your knowledge and keeping current with the most recent trends. But of course, it's the biggest platform for training our junior doctors and the next generation of clinicians.
And now we're going to move into a screening of a conversation I had with Dr. Ivan Beckley a couple of weeks ago, all about bias and how we bring our own views and thoughts into our discussions with patients. Some people watching may know, but you've done a podcast.
Yes.
The bias diagnosis.
Yes. The intention of it was basically to create a narrative and a story around people's experiences which are unheard of. And these are mainly ethnic minorities in the healthcare system, and how their experiences of healthcare is very different to others.
The reason for doing this is if we can begin.
Preacher, you've been chairing our pharmacology session today. Why should physicians care about clinical pharmacology?
Physicians should care about clinical pharmacology because medicines are one of the biggest medical intervention that we make as physicians. So everything that we do is based around medicines. And moreover, with the increase of multimorbidity, also polypharmacy is increasing. So as well as benefits from medicines, there are also harms. So I think we need to all be aware of both the benefits as well as the harms that can be caused by medicines. And physicians need to manage patients' experiences within that context of multimorbidity and polypharmacy.
It's been 2 years since we've been really at face-to-face conferences, and you forget the importance of being able to sit down, have a cup of coffee, and actually sit and network with colleagues.
Apart from the CPDs that you get, this is like a refresher course, like I said, just to update your knowledge from your parent specialty, but more importantly, also the networking. It's going to keep in touch with all your colleagues from across the country.
That's a nice bit of cake, isn't it? Cakes and physicians has been a bit of a theme this year. We did a physician's bake, which was a chance to meet all of the senior officers. Let's look at some highlights from that. Ready?
Steady. Bake!
Simon, you're about to take over as treasurer of the college, aren't you?
Oh, wow.
And therefore, it's important that all the members watching know that while you're going to be a great at cooking cakes, you're not going to cook the books, are you?
No, not important, but very important to know how to cut the cake.
Oh. Well done.
Wow. Nice colours. Not much red, but it's okay. This one's got a fruity flavour in it.
Yeah, that's delicious. Citrus?
Yeah, I think it's orange.
I really, really, really like the buttercream. It's less sweet.
Yeah, it's not too sweet, which is really good.
And we've come to the end of day 2 of Medicine 2022. And it's a chance for us to reflect on the past couple of days and perhaps reflect on the past year for the RCP. It's been a big year for us. We've moved into this building, Spine in Liverpool, and it's been great to see how it's worked so well over the past 2 days. The pandemic has continued with us over the past 12 months, and I think will continue to be with us for the next 12 months to come. It has been a tough year. It's been tough on the 3 Ws that I've talked about many times in my presidency, the workforce. And we've heard that time and time again over the past 2 days, the importance of the workforce in the NHS and the challenge we've got moving forward to keep that workforce. Well-being, never before have we needed a stronger focus on the well-being of our staff. And if we don't, we will lose people that the NHS sorely needs. And worldwide, the challenges of Ukraine and of climate change have been discussed a lot over the past couple of days. And we are going to have to live with the consequences of both of those moving forwards. I've really enjoyed meeting lots of people in London and Liverpool. That's been my highlight of the past 2 days.
The RCP represents authority and unity.
The RCP is really progressive.
The RCP is a great organisation, very innovative.
The RCP is relevant and thoughtful.
The RCP is for the medical community.
The RCP is essential.
The RCP is relevant. I think the past 2 years have shown us that in a way that the RCP hasn't been relevant for many, many years. The pandemic has brought physicians right to the fore of the NHS, and I've been really proud to be able to lead the RCP in that time. Which then brings me on to what happens next. I am stepping down as president in just under 6 months' time, and I'm looking forward to coming back to Medicine 2023 as a member rather than as a president. I would like to say a big thank you to all of the senior team, chief executive, all the senior officers, and all the staff for their support over the past 3.5 years. I don't intend to go out with a whimper, I intend to go out with a bang, so hang on guys, the next 6 months could be fun. But then I hope to see you all at Medicine 2023 next year.